and there will never be nothing, that they're ugly because of the color of their skin. I'm singing.
What makes a voice unforgettable? Fantasia Barrino's soul-stirring sound captured hearts, but her path to fame was anything but ordinary. Beneath the glittering spotlight of American Idol lay a story marked by struggle, heartbreak, and triumph. What pain shaped her powerful voice, and how did she rise above it all? Let's uncover the truth. Fantasia Barrino's story didn't begin on the dazzling stage of American Idol. It began in the modest surroundings of High Point, North Carolina. Music was in her blood, a gift passed down through generations of her family. Surrounded by gospel soul and jazz, Fantasia grew up inspired by the legends Aretha Franklin, Patti LaBelle, and Chaka Khan. Their raw power and emotion influenced her distinctive, raspy voice that would later captivate millions. But the songs she sang as a child couldn't drown out the challenges she faced. Behind the music was a young girl grappling with life's harsh realities, preparing for a future that would test her spirit. At just 16, Fantasia's life took a dramatic and unexpected turn when she became pregnant with her daughter, Zion. Can you imagine being a teenager barely old enough to drive and suddenly responsible for another life? For Fantasia, this was no hypothetical scenario. Dropping out of school to focus on raising her child, she found herself facing harsh judgment from society. People wrote her off, dismissing her as just another statistic, a young single mother who had thrown her life away. But those people couldn't have been more wrong. What they saw as her downfall became the fire that ignited her determination to rise. Her love for Zion became her anchor, and against all odds, she began paving a path that no one thought was possible. This was just the beginning of a journey that would test her resilience in unimaginable ways. Fantasia later opened up about the abuse, sharing how it left her both physically bruised and emotionally broken. Can you imagine standing in front of a mirror and barely recognizing yourself, swollen lips, bruises, and knots on your head? For Fantasia, that nightmare was her reality. The moment that finally shook her awake came from her younger brother, who bluntly said, "You look bad." Those 3 words hit her harder than any blow, cutting through the fog and forcing her to face the devastating toll this relationship had taken on her spirit. It wasn't just her body that was hurt, it was her dignity, her identity. And the future she still had a chance to reclaim. That realization became the spark she needed to walk away and begin again, no matter how difficult it seemed. What would you do in her place? Fantasia made the brave decision to walk away from the toxic relationship, knowing full well it meant starting over with nothing. But for her, Zion was her reason, her anchor, and her drive to keep pushing forward. She was determined to build a life that her daughter could be proud of. In 2004, Fantasia took the leap and auditioned for American Idol. But standing on that stage didn't mean her challenges suddenly disappeared. It meant a new set of struggles awaited her. Not only was she navigating life as a single mom, but she was also carrying a deeply personal secret: her struggles with illiteracy. Years of interrupted schooling had left her unable to read or write properly, a reality she hid while wowing millions with her incredible voice. Imagine the fear of being handed a script to read on national television, knowing you couldn't even begin to sound out the words. Instead of showing that fear, Fantasia smiled, charmed everyone, and relied on her quick thinking to get through moments that would have been paralyzing for anyone else. Fantasia hid her struggles with remarkable resourcefulness. Instead of reading lyrics, she memorized songs through repetition, letting the music guide her. Her rendition of Summertime became one of the most iconic moments in American Idol history. Judge Simon Cowell even called it the best performance he had ever seen in a competition, a statement that still resonates today. Her win wasn't just a personal victory, it was a beacon of hope for single mothers, survivors of abuse, and anyone who had ever been told they wouldn't amount to anything. It showed the world that talent and determination could defy even the heaviest odds. Fantasia's story reminded millions watching that a person's worth isn't defined by their past, but by their resilience to overcome it. But fame didn't erase the pain of her past. Just as Fantasia's career was taking off, the trauma of her teenage years resurfaced. In her memoir, Life Is Not a Fairy Tale, she revealed the devastating details of an assault she endured during high school. A boy she trusted betrayed her in the most horrific way, leaving scars that went far beyond the physical. Returning to school became unbearable as she faced not just whispers but outright threats and mockery. Bullied and ostracized, Fantasia ultimately dropped out, cutting short her education and compounding her struggles with literacy. Have you ever felt like the odds were stacked against you, no matter how hard you tried? That was Fantasia's reality. Things took an even darker turn in 2010 when Fantasia found herself embroiled in a public scandal. Accused of having an affair with a married man, Antoine Cook, she became the target of relentless media scrutiny. The stress pushed her to a breaking point. In a moment of despair, she attempted to take her own life by overdosing on aspirin and sleeping pills. Later, she bravely opened up about the incident, describing how years of betrayal and public judgment had drained her will to go on. Fantasia's candidness about her mental health struggles resonated with many, offering a powerful reminder that even the strongest people need support. As if that wasn't enough, another challenge emerged. Fantasia was diagnosed with a cyst on her vocal cords, a condition that threatened the very gift that had brought her success. Performing 8 shows a week on Broadway's The Color Purple had taken a toll, leaving her voice strained and her health deteriorating. Surgery became unavoidable. For weeks, she couldn't sing, and the uncertainty of whether her voice would fully recover loomed over her. Yet, in true Fantasia fashion, she came back stronger. Shortly after her recovery, she earned a Grammy for her single Bittersweet, proving once again that resilience was her superpower. Even as her career soared, financial struggles loomed in the background. Despite her fame, Fantasia admitted to losing everything twice. Poor financial management and her generosity toward family members left her nearly bankrupt. One particularly humiliating moment came when her credit card was declined while trying to buy pizza. These hardships forced her to reevaluate her approach to money, teaching her valuable lessons about trust and responsibility. Fantasia's family life has also been marked by heartbreak. In 2017, her younger brother Xavier was involved in a life-altering motorcycle accident that left him unable to walk. While the incident was devastating, Fantasia believes it may have saved his life, pulling him away from destructive behaviors. Her tough love and unwavering support have been instrumental in his recovery, showing the depth of her strength as both a sister and a role model. But the pain didn't stop there. In 2018, Fantasia faced the devastating loss of her 18-year-old nephew, Taekwon, who was tragically shot. The senseless violence left a void in her family, yet Fantasia remained a pillar of strength, paying tribute to her nephew and calling for peace. How do you find the courage to stay strong when your family is torn apart by such a heartbreaking loss? Fantasia's resilience during this time showed just how deeply her strength ran, even in the face of unimaginable grief. Her heartbreaking journey, filled with unimaginable challenges, didn't break her spirit, it made her stronger. From overcoming abuse and illiteracy to facing public scrutiny and loss, Fantasia's journey is proof that no matter how dark life gets, there's always a chance to rise again. Her story inspires us to believe in second chances and the resilience of the human spirit. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this.